live to talk about Prince William and what is happening to him right now. Personally, I think that he needs a mental health break, and that is what we were seeing recently. But there's so much talk about Prince William right now. People criticizing him for not working hard enough. Other people saying that he's just, lazy. But what we saw this past week was just the past couple of days is that he was to go to St. George Chapel and speak for his godfather's funeral. I don't know if he was going to give a full eulogy, but he was going to be one of the speakers at St. George's Chapel. Hey, welcome, guys. And it's not like he choked. I guess he called in a favor. He was like, hey, I'm not going to be there. What am I going to do? I'm so sad. Okay. All right. Okay. So anyhow, we are going to talk about Prince William and, in a nutshell, what's going on with him. I personally feel like everything is just, the stress level is just getting to him. Like he is just losing it, and the stress level is getting to him. And so he's just freaking out. I don't have any graphics. I'll read a couple of articles that I have, but in a nutshell, this is what happened. He was supposed to go to a funeral in Windsor, so not far from his house. It's like right around the corner. And this was for his godfather, King Constantine of Greece. Obviously, King Charles couldn't be there. Queen Camilla was there, and then Andrew came with his family, and there were other royals there. But at the last minute, Prince William decided to call it in and say, sorry, I can't be there, which was suspect. Some people are like, hey, why didn't you show up? And if it's the last minute and royals don't really back out, is there something really serious going on with your wife? So they basically said, that there's no way, that it's not Catherine. Catherine's doing great. And then it's not a couple of other things. But the big news was that Prince William's cousins, his second cousin's husband just mysteriously died, Thomas Kingston. So, and he was kind of a peer. He was 45 years old. And so it's Lady Gabriella Windsor, I believe is her name, but she is the daughter of the Duke and Duchess of Kent, who are the cousins of Queen Elizabeth. So he just passed away. He was found in this space in Cotswold. He was a financier, and he had been in the military, and he had been a negotiator for hostage situations. And he was just a really great guy. There's even a quote that said that he was a devout Christian, right? So he passes away right within the same time frame that William is scheduled to go in to talk at this funeral. So this is my speculation. But here's the thing. My speculation is that it wasn't Kate. It wasn't the king. But it was a combination of Kate, of all of those things. Because if you start to think about what Prince William has gone through, he's always been sort of the solid brother, very dutiful. His mother said he was going to make a great king one day. He was always just very solid. And I think he is very solid, but there's only so much you can take. If you think about it, his brother left, and it's been crazy since then. His grandmother passed away. He's probably still dealing with the aftermath of his mother passing away when he was a child. There's still probably some wounds there. Now his wife is sick. None of us know what that is. I mean, he could be sleep deprived. His dad, and he probably really wanted that time off, but then his dad ends up having cancer. And now he's supposed to go speak at this funeral at the same time when there's this unexpected death in the family. So I just wanted to say that it's just like, what in the world, really happened? And that possibly, when I said, does he need a mental health break? It would be reasonable to have a mental health break, because if we think about it, like that was his platform, with the Fab Four, with Meghan and Harry, and like the platform was that, but he's not as overt about it. He's not going to go on with what the guy's name is, Gabe or Mate or whatever, on pay pay-per-view in order to show your counseling session like Prince Harry, right? But that doesn't mean that he doesn't struggle with some things and doesn't need some things. And anybody, even somebody, in my opinion, of the most solid, which I think he's probably a solid kid. He's gone through a lot, but I think he's probably really strong. It doesn't matter. Like, all of those things compiled together would give cause to pause and say, I need a minute. So although the media is like, oh, this is very unusual, Kate must be sick, and hopefully that's not the case. It's not because of Thomas, they say, but after a while, it's like you have to start questioning things. Remember, he is expected to become the king and carry the monarchy on. And at this point, who knows? He may be thinking, I don't know if I even want to, it's just futile at this point. I don't have my brother. My dad is passing away. There's all this stuff going on. It has been a hellish year, I'm just going to admit. So that is my thought regarding Prince William. And I really want to know what your thoughts are. In a nutshell, I really believe that he needs a break. And I wonder what kind of counselors and what kind of counseling they have around them for somebody to say to him, hey, William, I can recognize that you need a break, right? But would they do that? Have they evolved since, they forced Will and Harry behind the coffin? Like, have things evolved since then where they can recognize when there's a time for pause? Granted, they're probably freaking out because there's nobody to cover these royal duties, right? And so even Prince Andrew, who was happy to go to the funeral because it was a, family thing. I mean, he'll show up at all of those, but there's the pressure to have to show up. I will say that Queen Camilla, who was never my favorite back in the day because I'm a Diana person, has definitely shown up. She has done her work. She has shown up and she has been there at every single turn. And she has really been kind of a solid in the midst of all of this. So that's what I'm thinking. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. So Sarvin says that word on the street in the UK is that he had a stroke. He was so young, 45 years old. They had only been married for 4 years. He had dated Pippa, so William's wife's sister. He had dated her, and it's also, I think Thomas may have dated one of William's ex-girlfriends also. So, yeah, welcome. And so what we're talking about today is Prince William and the fact that rightfully so, he must be, there must be so much pressure on him. And at this point, for me, because I'm very empathetic, that's like my superpower. I could think that he's probably thinking, oh my gosh, like, do I even, like, what is it even worth, like, becoming king? Like, should the monarchy just call it a day at this point because everything's falling apart? That's what it would feel like to me if I were him. So let me read a couple of these articles. I'm not putting them on screen. I'm just decided to talk because I didn't want to, have to prep. But it says Kensington Palace says Britain's Prince William pulled out of attending a memorial service for his godfather, the late King Constantine of Greece, because of a personal matter. It's that phrase that everybody's like, oh my gosh. The palace declined to elaborate on Tuesday, but said his wife, the Princess of Wales, who is recovering from abdominal surgery, continues to do well. I mean, let's be honest, like, she is a force. So if it was abdominal surgery, I would say that Kate probably had a great shot at recovering quite fast. Anyhow, but it said William called the Greek royal family, which is attending the memorial service in St. George's Chapel in Windsor, to let them know he was unable to attend. Constantine II of Greece died in January of last year at the age of 82. King Charles III, who is being treated for an undisclosed form of cancer, also will not attend the service for his cousin. The monarch has canceled all his public engagements while he receives treatments. And I guess that's it. That's that comment. And then let's see what Lola has to say. One of my favorite names of all time. I love Diana, of course, but Camilla has really stepped up, and I'm rooting for her. That's kind of where I'm at too, and I think you worded that really, really well. And cheers to Australia as well. So yeah, I feel like I've become impressed by her, honestly, because I wasn't like. honestly, it took me a long time to sort of settle into it, but she seems like such a great match for Charles. And she seems like a great support for him, So, yeah, maybe one of the kids were sick. That is possible too. But I wonder if that would be reason for him to back out of something like that, you know? So agree on Camilla. Thank you. So yeah, they're I don't know. I just did a short video that I can't put on YouTube until I edit it down, but I put like a 4-minute video up on TikTok about this. I just have this feeling that, wow, like how much can you take? Like even the brother thing with Harry, right? So Harry this week lost one case, but then he was out, at the Invictus thing. Like he's still there. He's still sort of, I call it tap dancing. He's tap dancing to try to see if he can, you know, make it in America, which is so ironic. There's a quote, I can't remember what famous author said it, but he said, royalty is better than fame. Like when they had royalty and they were like really pushing for fame, which is crazy. Let me see what Shield Wall of Dragons. I love that because I feel like I'm talking to like, I don't know, the Knights of the Templar. The monarchy has faced many challenges. In my opinion, the entire point of the modern monarchy is to demonstrate resilience in the face of adversity during tough times. Yeah. And I will say that I have been impressed with William being so strong, but there's only so much you can take. There's only so much that you can take. And so maybe you do need a break. However, what do you guys think? Because there is a lot of criticism, and I don't know because I don't follow like how often he's working. So many people are saying he's lazy, like he doesn't have as many appearances. I think it's because they have kids. So, let's see what Sarvin says. Prince William and Princess Kate are usually communal. You can see them out and about in Windsor taking the kids to school, but we haven't seen any sign of them for a while now. I know. I'm so worried about her because she's my favorite princess. And so I am a little bit worried about that fact. And then I also think that it's not wise to not show any clips of her unless she's lost a lot of weight or something. Like why haven't we seen more? And so, but imagine William is like, there's duty, but what duty? Is there the duty? Like to him, he's a family guy. I think that his duty, like he sees his duty to his family, his immediate family, to be more than royal, but he does see the royal thing as he knows that that's his responsibility. He's not going to say what Harry said, which Harry said on the slopes of Canada, for his little press thing that was, and is on Hulu instead of Netflix. He's like, well, I have my family here. I think that's so bizarre. Camilla has been described as warm and silly. She seems that way. I completely get it. I had to take a day. See what I'm saying? It's like sometimes it's like you're just like, what's going on? And it's smart. Hi, Brian. So Brian is in the UK, and he is a great resource for me. He always sends me things. Okay, so let me see what Pamela has to say. It's been a rough year for the royal family. I agree with you that they all need a break. Camilla has been a hard call for me. Yeah, but she has stepped up to the plate. Best wishes to them all. And I will say, I don't know, that one thing that I can appreciate, like Anne is my favorite. Anne and her kids, like Zara and Mike. I love them. I love Prince Edward and Sophie and Louise and James. Like I love that family so much, like because they're so solid, but they're quiet. They're not looking for like a lot of attention. You know what I mean? They do their thing, and it's not about becoming famous, right? So that's why I like them. And I love Princess Anne. And I feel like Camilla is the same. She's just doing her thing. She's kind of, it's not like she's trying to over impress anybody. She's just doing her thing. So yeah. And Sarvin says the rumors are wild. And that is the one thing that I don't like about them being so cryptic. It was great that King Charles told us. He was like, okay, going in for this prostate exam, whatever, this procedure. But now it's like crickets. Like we don't know. We're not supposed to know. Like even with Thomas Kingston passing away, it's like, aren't we supposed to know anything? Because we're going to speculate. We're going to speculate. Okay. the relationship between the sovereign and the subjects is reciprocal. The king and his family needs to be strong for the populace, but the populace needs to support them as well. I love that. Yeah. I don't think you need to like, it's not like way, way back in the day where you would need to like destroy yourself. There's room for your emotions, there's room for that. And a man as strong as a king, you will have your moments, and there's only so much you can take. And so you need a mental health break. You need a breather. Sometimes you just need sleep. I mean, there are days when I don't get enough sleep and that whole day is shot. I'm like, this is a bad day. I'm going to react with, the fact that I don't have enough ice in my refrigerator, or that we forgot like the cream for the coffee. I mean, there's certain things. Stiff upper lip may be failing me due to overwhelm, and heck, it happens to us all. Yeah. Yep. 1,000%. And I don't know. Okay. So let me throw out a lot of rumors. There was a rumor recently regarding Lady Louise. Brian's going to pop in here. Regarding Lady Louise, and that the king was going to give her the Duchess of Sussex title, which I think would be impossible as long as Meghan has it. So what we know is Lady Louise could have been princess, and she can choose princess at any time. She can choose to be princess. I doubt she will if the rest of her family isn't, because Sophie and Edward decided not to, have their children be prince and princess, but she could. And then there's that rumor, that they could make her the Duchess of Sussex. I think that she would be a great member of the royal family. She was one of the Queen's favorite granddaughters. Some say that she was the favorite. She was born premature, and a lot of stress about that, but she was very close to her grandmother. So, okay, they are human and have many of the same struggles the rest of us do. Yes, Prince William is human, as is Kate and everybody else. So, hi, Stephen. Nice to see you here. If Charles has to step aside, maybe Anne could be regent for a few years until William is ready. That is a concept. That's a concept. But I don't think that that's how it works. I think regents work when somebody's mentally incapacitated, physically incapacitated, or too young. I don't know if they would bypass that type of line. Since William's a 40-year-old man, I don't think that they would bypass that. I just think that he would become the regent, and then obviously the future king. I think this is from Brian, I think they specifically kept Catherine's issues under wraps because of the hate coming her way. Possibly, or maybe she just really felt like she needed a break as well, or maybe it was so personal. I mean, it could have been something regarding, female stuff, and even a pregnancy that, let's say, didn't happen. Like, I don't know. It could have been something that was really devastating, Louise was a favorite of Philip's too. Yeah. So a couple of you came on late, and just to mention that basically the premise of this video is about Prince William and the fact that he didn't make it to King Constantine's funeral to speak. And he was supposed to speak, but he called in, he was like, sorry, I can't do it. A personal matter came up. So there was all this speculation, which got me then thinking, wow, this man has to be under so much pressure. So that is what we're talking about. I'm going to read this other article about Kate and then take questions, and then we're going to call it a night. Okay, so Prince William missed a memorial. We already said that. Constantine died. William called the Greek royal family to let them know. It's the same article. Don't you hate when the AP, it's like the same article and all these things? But he called Prince Pavlos, who stood in for the British heir to the throne, who was due to give a Bible reading. So it was a Bible reading. The palace, but it is a family event, so it is something to miss it. The palace reported the Prince of Wales missed the memorial service due to a personal matter. However, they didn't elaborate. And then they go on to say how the Princess of Wales had abdominal surgery in January. The exact details of her condition have not been revealed, but the palace said previously it was not cancer related and that Kate wished her personal medical information to remain private. So we may never know. Here's the thing, if it's a chronic ongoing problem, we'll probably notice in her appearance and everything. But if it was just something that needed to be a procedure that they needed to fix, then that's that. During the Duchess of Cambridge's 3 pregnancies, she suffered hyperemesis gravidarum. Every time I say that, I think of Harry Potter. That's just how immature I am. She suffered from that, from hyperemesis gravidarum, a condition which causes severe vomiting. To overcome the extreme sickness, she revealed in a podcast, Happy Mom, Happy Baby, she resorted to hypnobirthing techniques of mindfulness and meditation. In the 2020 podcast, the princess told the host, Giovanni Fletcher, I'm not going to say that William was standing there sort of chanting something sweet nothings at me. He definitely wasn't. I didn't even ask him about it, but it was just something I wanted to do for myself. I saw power of it, really, the meditation and the deep breathing, the things like that they teach you in hypnobirthing when I was really sick. And actually, I realized that this was something I could take control of, I suppose, during labor. It was hugely powerful. The Princess of Wales is said to be doing well as she recovers from the procedure. However, she will not return to official duties until after Easter. Wouldn't it be wild if they came out of this and we did discover that she was pregnant? I mean, that would be so fun. Royal correspondent Michael Cole told GB News, I think it's worrying. It has been made clear from an unnamed source that the reason for him pulling out has nothing to do with Kate. We do not know. I think it's unusual at the last minute. But this is what I'm saying. Like, what if all of a sudden you're like literally you're consumed with all this emotion, with all this dread? Like sometimes you're like in a mindset where it's like, I just need to, I feel awful, right? So why couldn't he have taken some time off? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why that's a problem. Who did they send in his place? Okay. It was Prince Pavlov, but I'm putting the question on here because it was kind of funny because Andrew and Sarah and the kids were there. It's like they got to show up and they're having their own kind of redemption time. You know, they're there. They are showing up at a lot of family events. No matter what they say, you be the black sheep of the family. They are there. Not like Prince Harry, who expected people to beg him. Okay, so even a well-connected commentator has spoke about Louise and the not so rumor talk. Oh, the people, listen, I would be delighted. I think I told you this in an email. I would be delighted. I think that would be fun. I don't think it's a rumor that they would give her something. I just don't know if they would give her the Sussex title. It would be amazing. And the people of Sussex deserve it. Oh, look, you just said that. And my family is from Sussex too, from Lewis. I always called it Lewes, but from Lewis. So, you know, being a relative of William de Varenne. So anyhow, I would love it, but okay. So Stephen said that I thought I read it was one of the kids. I don't know. I didn't read any of that. Let me see if there's anything else here. Okay, this is the part that makes me so sad. Somebody said, I think it was Sarvin, that they think that Thomas Kingston had a stroke. He was so young. And honestly, well, you can never tell. But it says it comes as so his wife's sick, his dad has cancer. He's there for his godfather's funeral. His grandmother passed away. His brother's doing God knows what, which really gets to him. And who knows, he could be having his own stress from this as far as blood pressure and all that. It comes as Thomas Kingston, the husband of Prince and Princess Michael of Kent's daughter, Lady Gabriella Kingston, died suddenly at the age of 45, Buckingham Palace announced yesterday. Lady Gabriella paid tribute to her financier husband in a joint statement with the family, describing him as an exceptional man who lit up the lives for all who knew him. They described his death as a great shock to the whole family. The king and queen sent their most heartfelt thoughts and prayers to Lady Gabriella, who is known as Ella. King Charles also missed King Constantine's memorial service. He's undergoing his treatments. The king, who is being treated for cancer, will miss the service of St. George. We know that, in honor of his close friend, and it's his second cousin. So that's the story there. Let me see what I'm missing. Let's see what Brian has to say. Okay, she could have had a hernia repair. That's true. Or she could have some kind of, I don't know, it could be like my cousin has Crohn's and it's bad. They can take months to heal, and it was planned. My girlfriend did have a hernia repair, and it did take forever. I had 2 C-sections. Not something rushed, and considering she gets stuck into activities and sports, it makes sense. Yeah, probably. And I'm sorry, everybody always commented, this sounds very superficial, but they always commented on her excellent abs. Just saying. Okay, I don't want to draw this thing out too long, and I've probably been talking too long. Do you guys have anything else that you guys want to contribute here before I say goodbye? Let's just keep tabs on what's going on with William, especially. I know Harry, like there was so much in the news about Harry this week and Meghan that it couldn't compute for me. The whole Netflix thing with them having the Netflix deal, but then I literally am just trying to finally relax, turn on the TV. It's Hulu. And I'm like, what? It's the extended version of the Good Morning America news when they went up to the Invictus Games 1 year in advance promo. And he's talking for a while, and then they cut over to the Netflix series, and they cut over to this and that. And apparently they're still under contract with Netflix, and some Netflix executives are like, we didn't know about this. So yeah, that's what they said. Okay, I will chat with you guys later, unless you have anything else. Did I miss anything? And yes, Brian, let's celebrate the next Duchess of Sussex, if it is indeed going to be Lady Louise or Princess Louise. She could. Okay. Bye guys. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.